everyone, and welcome to the championship match of the 2018 Burlington County Academic Tournament. Our finalists today are, to my right, the team from Cherokee High School, Cherokee 1, and representing Cherokee 1, from left to right, we have Cameron Vinson, Angela Harris, Captain Morgan Westerby, and Ashwin Mahadevan. And to my left, the team from Lenape High School, Lenape 2. And starting with my left, we have Brian Boyle, Jake Friedman, the captain, Jimmy Lee, and Audrey Zhang. Today's match will start with a Jeopardy-style round consisting of 20 questions across 5 categories. Play alternates after each question between the two teams, and if a team gets an incorrect answer, the other team has a chance to steal. After 10 of the 20 questions have been completed, the teams are going to compete in the lightning round, featuring 4 categories in which the teams will alternate, with the opponent having the chance to steal any incorrect answers. Following the lightning round, we will conclude with the 10 remaining questions. So let's take a look at the categories for the first round. We have language, literature, and vocabulary, math, history, music, and science. Lenape High School won the coin toss before the show, so they're going to start us off. Go ahead, Lenape.
All right, we will take science for 50.
Science for 50. An example of a double replacement reaction is barium chloride and silver sulfate reacting to form what? An example of a double replacement reaction is barium chloride and silver sulfate reacting to form what?
Barium sulfate.
Yeah.
Barium sulfate and silver chloride.
That is correct. Yeah. Okay, Cherokee, it's your turn to pick next.
We want math for 75.
Math for 75. What is the derivative of the function y of x equals 19? What is the derivative of the function y of x equals 19?
0.
That is correct. All right, Lenape, your choice.
Science for 75.
Science for 75. Give your answer in decimal form. The half-life of neptunium-238 is 2 days. If 4 grams are produced on Tuesday, how many grams will remain Wednesday of the next week? Once again, give your answer in decimal form. The half-life of neptunium-238 is 2 days. If 4 grams are produced on Tuesday, how many grams will remain Wednesday of the next week?
Uh, 0.25 grams.
That is correct. All right, Cherokee, your choice.
History for 50, please.
History for 50. In the year 911, Charles the Simple granted which region to the Viking Rollo? In the year 911, Charles the Simple granted which region to the Viking Rollo?
Greenland.
That is incorrect. So Lenape, you have a chance to steal.
Brittany.
It is not. The correct answer was Normandy. Normandy was the correct answer there. Okay, Lenape.
Yeah, math for 50.
All right, math for 50. A trapezoid has an area of 54 meters squared and a height of 6 meters. How many meters long is its median? A trapezoid has an area of 54 meters squared and a height of 6 meters. How many meters long is its median?
9.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Cherokee, your choice.
What? LLV for 75.
Okay, for 75. His novels are seething whirlpools, gyrating sandstorms, and waterspouts which hiss and boil and suck us in. Which Russian author is Virginia Woolf talking about, whose works include Notes from the Underground? His novels are seething whirlpools, gyrating sandstorms, waterspouts which hiss and boil and suck us in. Which Russian author is Virginia Woolf talking about, whose works include Notes from the Underground?
Dostoevsky.
That's very good. Correct. All right, Lenape, your choice.
History for 75.
History for 75. Between 1 million and 300,000 years ago, say scientists, it was the only hominid in existence. Its remains have been found in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Indonesian islands. Name the species that evolved from Homo habilis. Between 1 million and 300,000 years ago, say scientists, it was the only hominid in existence. Its remains have been found in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Indonesian islands. Name the species that evolved from Homo habilis.
Homo erectus.
That is correct.
Right. Sounds good.
Okay, Cherokee, where do you want to go next?
LLV for 100.
For 100. In this novel, Pablo claims to see a huge black bird symbolizing death hovering over the protagonist. Pablo was one of the paisanos led by Peon and Danny. What is this John Steinbeck novel set in Monterey, California? In this novel, Pablo claims to see a huge blackbird symbolizing death hovering over the protagonist. Pablo was one of the paisanos led by Peon and Danny. What is this John Steinbeck novel set in Monterey, California?
Grapes of Wrath.
That is incorrect. Lenape, your chance to steal 100 points.
The Red Pony.
Now, the correct answer is Tortilla Flat. Tortilla Flat
Well
for
done.
100. That's why it's 100. It's a tough one, right? All right, Lenape, your choice.
Do you want to do history? What history for 100?
I think 200 for math.
Wait, you want me to do? All right, math for 100.
All right, math for 100. How long in feet is a cord from the top of one pole, 50 feet high, to the top of another pole, 20 feet high, with the poles being 16 feet apart? How long in feet is a cord from the top of one pole, 50 feet high, to the top of another pole, 20 feet high, with the poles being 16 feet apart?
Um, 34.
34?
Yeah.
34.
34 is correct for 100 points. All right, Cherokee, last question before we go to commercial break here. What would you like?
Okay. LLV for 50.
All right, language, literature, and vocabulary for 50. Thor, the god of thunder, possesses three precious things. A belt of strength and iron gloves were two of them. Name the third. Thor, the god of thunder, possessed three precious things. A belt of strength and iron gloves were two of them. Name the third.
His hammer.
Hammer is correct. Very good for 50. So there you go. We're done our first half of the question round. Have you gotten a lot of those right at home? Hopefully you have. Come join us after this break for the lightning round. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the championship round of the Burlington County Academic Tournament. Our championship teams today, to my left right now with 350 points is Lenape High School, and to my right is Cherokee High School with 200 points. Lenape has decided to make some substitutions before the lightning round, so joining the Lenape team is Anson Shu and Liam Anthony. So welcome to the game, guys. It's now time for the lightning round. The team that is behind is going to pick the first category. They will have a chance to answer up to 10 questions in 60 seconds, getting 10 points each for each correct answer. If you get all of them correct, you will get a 20-point bonus. The other team can answer the questions that the first team is unable to after the 60 seconds has expired. So, Cherokee, where would you like to go first?
Take your cue.
Take your cue. Okay, so Cherokee, these are all answers that start with the letter Q. Let's start with the letter Q. Here we go. In Britain, the term is the same as pounding sterling, or pound sterling.
Quartz.
And a survey obtaining information.
Questionnaire.
When people argue, they can also be said to.
Quarrel.
The heart of French Canada.
Quebec.
The name of the pigtail or braid worn at one time by the Chinese.
Pass.
When one has an unsettled stomach, what can
Queasy.
be? The god of the Toltecs and Aztecs.
Quetzalcoatl.
5 children born together at the same time.
Quintuplets.
4 children born together at the same time.
Quadruplets.
A coverlet with stitched sections.
Quilt.
That is correct.
Yeah.
The name of a pigtail or braid worn at one time by the Chinese.
Queet.
Okay, so you got a total of, it looks like 8, if my math is correct. 8, so that's 80 points for Cherokee. Math teacher doing quick math. I should admit that I'm a math teacher. So Lenape, you're going to get a chance to go back to the 2 that they did not get correct. You'll have 6 seconds for each. In Britain, this term is the same as pound sterling.
Pass.
The name of the pigtail or braid worn at one time by the Chinese.
Chi.
In Britain, the term is the same as pound sterling.
No. Pass.
And we're out of time. So first, the first one for Britain, that's a quid. A quid. And the name of the pigtail or braid worn at one time by the Chinese, I believe it's pronounced a quay. Is that how we pronounce it? A quay. So the judge said it wasn't pronounced correctly. So that's okay. So
That's okay.
blame the judge, don't blame the host. So, all right. So we're going to go to Lenape now for your selection.
A to J or F5.
What one it is?
We'll do A to J.
A to J. So the answers are words beginning with the letters of the alphabet A through J. A through J. When the Sioux used percussion flaking and pressure flaking, they were probably making what?
Pass.
An animal with sharp teeth and a flat tail.
Pass.
The Strait of Magellan passes through an archipelago that now belongs to what nation?
Chile.
What archaeological site is named for the worship of Apollo and its oracle?
Delphi.
T.S. Eliot was born in St. Louis, but in what country did he spend most of his mature years?
Pass.
Some say man's first musical instrument was the drum. Others say it was what woodwind?
Lyra.
Caryatids supporting columns in the form of female figures were developed in what ancient civilization?
Greece.
A place where boats and ships come to shore is called what?
Harbor.
In what country does Raj mean rule, especially British rule?
India.
A person or thing that brings bad luck is...
A gin.
Okay, so Cherokee, or Lenape rather, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 correct, if that's correct. 50 points, I believe. So we're going to give Cherokee now a chance to hear the other ones, 6 seconds each. Here we go. When the Sioux used percussion flaking and pressure flaking, they were probably making what?
Jars.
An animal with sharp teeth and a flat tail.
Beaver.
T.S. Eliot was born in St. Louis, but in what country did he spend most of his mature years?
England.
Some say man's first musical instrument was the drum. Others say it was what woodwind?
Fife.
A person or a thing that brings bad luck is called a...
Harbinger.
Okay, that you got 2 correct there. You got 2 correct for 20 points.
Okay.
The 3 that were missed, the Sioux and their percussion flaking, those are called arrowheads. They were making arrowheads when they were doing that. The woodwind, the instrument, the first woodwind, the flute. The flute. A person or a thing that brings bad luck is a jinx. A jinx. Okay, that was a jinx. All right. So Cherokee, you're going to select next. There are 2 categories left: Phi upon it or U-turn. Is that okay?
Why? Why? U-turn. please.
U-turn, U-turn. Okay, these are all answers that start with the letter U.
Okay.
All answers start with the letter U. A person who shows others to their seats in a church or theater.
Usher.
Only a virgin may capture this mythical animal.
Pass.
This is a one-sided contract, issue, or decision.
Unilateral.
What name did Egypt and Syria take for themselves in 1958?
Pass.
What element was named for a 1781 celestial
Uranium.
discoverer? What historic Irish province contains all of Northern Ireland plus 3 countries of the Republic of Ireland?
United Kingdom.
What is the official name of the institution known as West Point?
Pass.
What was once known as the Trucial States or the Trucial Oman?
Union.
This means uncultured, crude, uncivilized, or boorish.
Uncouth.
This is another word for offense or resentment.
Pass.
Only a virgin may capture. Okay, so Cherokee, 1, 2, 3. I believe that's 40 points for Cherokee. So Cherokee, you got 40 points. So Lenape, your chance to steal. Only a virgin may capture this mythical animal.
Unicorn.
What name did Egypt and Syria take for themselves in 1958?
Umayyad.
What historic Irish province contains all of Northern Ireland plus 3 countries of the Republic of Ireland?
Umbra.
What is the official name of the institution known as West Point?
Pass.
What was once known as the Trucial States or Trucial Oman?
Pass.
This is another word for offense or resentment.
Pass.
What is the official military institution known as West Point?
University of the United States Military.
You were so close on that one. That was the U.S. Military Academy, the U.S. Military Academy. Going back to some of the other ones that were missed, Cherokee or Lenape, rather, you
Ulster? I
got
think it was
one
Ulster.
for 10 points. The name did Egypt and Syria take for themselves in 1958? That was the United Arab Republic. The historic Irish province, that was Ulster. You were so close, as we said, to the U.S. Military Academy. The Trucial States, Trucial Oman, that was the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. And another word for offense or resentment is umbrage. Umbrage. Okay. So that leaves one category left. For you, Lenape, it's "fi" upon it. For each clue, we're going to ask you to think of a word ending in "fi." For example, if I said, "bring into a state of peace," your answer would be "pacify." So, pacify. All right. Make clear or intelligible.
Clarify.
Form into one.
Unify.
Increase or decrease. Make more dense or brighter.
Magnify.
Extol. Magnify with praise.
Loudify. Glorify.
Strengthen against attack.
Fortify.
Challenge. Resist.
Defy.
Have proper or necessary traits.
Qualify.
State in detail.
Pass.
Instruct or benefit morally.
Pass.
Render or declare unfit.
Pass.
Okay, going back. State in detail.
Pass.
Benefit morally or instruct.
Pass.
Render or declare unfit.
Disqualify.
Okay, so Lenape, you got 5, I believe, for 50 points. 50 points. All right, so Lenape, we're actually going to give you the third one. Increase in degree, make more dense or brighter. That was intensify. There was a miscommunication when I read it. So Cherokee, we're going to give you the other ones that they missed. Here we go. Extol, magnify with praise.
Glorify.
That's correct. State in detail.
Exemplify.
Instruct or benefit morally.
What? Edify.
Render or declare unfit.
Disqualify.
That's correct. You got 3 of them correct. The only one that was missed is state in detail, and that is specify.
Okay.
Specify. All right. So we are done our lightning round. We've got 10 questions to go in our question round. We hope you'll stick around right after this. Thanks for coming back to the Burlington County Academic Tournament. This is our championship game. We have 10 questions left, and currently right now, to my left, Lenape High School has 470 points, and to my right, Cherokee High School has 370 points. And during the commercial break, Cherokee has elected to have a substitute come in. Andrew Thompson, welcome to Cherokee's team. So we have 10 questions left, and Lenape, you're going to start us on the next question.
All right, we're going to go with history for 100.
History for 100. Often referred to as the Golden Age of India, what dynasty spanned AD 320 to 550 and covered northern India and most of Pakistan? Often referred to as the Golden Age of India, what dynasty spanned AD 320 to 550 and covered northern India and most of Pakistan?
The Marias.
That is incorrect. Cherokee, a chance to steal.
Are you sure? Well, do anyone have any other suggestions? Aryan?
No, it was Gupta. Gupta. Oh, you were gonna say that, huh? Oh, over 100 points, Gupta. Heartbreaker. Okay, Cherokee, you're up.
Science or music? I feel like they're going to take the science. I feel like they're going to take the science if we don't take it. Yeah. All right, science for 100.
Science for 100. The Pleiades doesn't count as one because it's not a human construct. That is, the stars are physically related. The Big Dipper, the Belt of Orion, and the Summer Triangle of Deneb, Altair, and Vega are examples of these things that are not officially considered constellations. What are such stellar patterns called? The Pleiades doesn't count as one because it's not a human construct. That is, the stars are physically related. The Big Dipper, the Belt of Orion, and the Summer Triangle of Deneb, Altair, and Vega are examples of these things that are not officially considered constellations. What are such stellar patterns called?
Nebula?
That is incorrect. Lenape to steal 100 points.
I have no idea. An association.
It is not correct. Did you know at home? Asterisms. Asterisms. I think somebody at home knew that one. Okay, Lenape, you're up.
Music for 50.
Music for 50. First time we're going to music. With its tuning pins near its crown, a player sits behind the soundboard and plucks its strings, using pedals to adjust the pitch. Name this instrument. With its tuning pins near its crown, a player sits behind the soundboard and plucks its strings, using pedals to adjust the pitch. Name this instrument.
Harp.
Harp is correct for
yeah.
50, yes. All right, Cherokee, where would you like to go next?
Music 100.
Music for 100. What is the most unusual instrument used in An American in Paris by George Gershwin? What is the most unusual instrument used in An American in Paris by George Gershwin?
Sitar?
It is not. So, Lenape, you have a chance to steal.
Yeah, I'm going to say a washboard. A washboard.
No, I think you were on the right track with that. Taxi cab horns. Taxi cab horns is the name
Oh,
of
it was in parentheses.
very popular instrument. Okay. So, Lenape, you're picking next.
I know we're off by like 100. Let's just get them.
All right.
Or you wanna
Math,
do
science.
Math for 25. I don't know.
All right. Math for 25.
Math for 25, my favorite category. A die is rolled twice in succession. What is the probability that 2 occurs both times?
Yeah.
A die is
1 over 36.
very good. I didn't even have to read it twice. Good job. All right, 25 points.
Yeah.
Cherokee, where would you like to go next?
Music 75.
Music for 75. Brahms' last chamber pieces were 2 types of these for clarinet and piano. What is this type of composition designed for 1 or 2 instruments, which usually has 3 or 4 movements in contrasting keys? Brahms' last chamber pieces were 2 of these for clarinet and piano. What is this type of composition designed for 1 or 2 instruments, which usually has 3 or 4 movements in contrasting keys?
Sonata?
Sonata's right for 75 points. Yep. Good job. All right, we have 4 questions left. Lenape, where would you like to go next?
Science for 25.
Science for 25. At the equator, 1 degree of it is equal to 69.7 miles. At the North Pole, 0 miles. Great circles through Earth's axis, which include the poles, define what kind of geographical lines? At the equator, 1 degree of it is equal to 69.7 miles. At the North Pole, 0 miles. Great circles through Earth's axis, which include the poles, define what kind of geographical lines?
Latitude?
That is incorrect. Cherokee.
Longitude?
Longitude is correct. That is correct. That is longitude. It's easy to get those two confused, for sure. All right, Cherokee, where would you like to go next?
LLV for 25.
Language, literature, and vocab. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby as a commentary on the disintegration of the American dream in this decade of the American history. Name this decade of Flappers and the Charleston. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby as a commentary on the disintegration of the American dream in this decade of American history. Name this decade of Flappers and the Charleston.
The 1920s.
The 1920s is correct for 25. Yep. History for 25. In 1952, the United States developed what kind of bomb that was much more powerful than the original atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki? In 1952, the United States developed what kind of bomb that was much more powerful than the original atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
The hydrogen bomb?
That is correct, the hydrogen bomb. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so Cherokee, your last question. I guess it's music for 25, right?
Yes.
Let's see what it says. What opera written in 1893 by Engelbert Humperdinck tells of two children who go to the woods to pick berries and get lost in a forest inhabited by a child-eating witch? What opera written in 1893 by Engelbert Humperdinck tells of two children who go to the woods to pick berries and get lost in a forest inhabited by a child-eating witch?
Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel is correct. All right. Well, teams, great job. When we come back from our commercial break, we'll tally up the final scores and see who is this year's champion. Please stick around. Welcome back to the 29th Annual Burlington County Academic Tournament. It is now time to let you know what our final scores are. A very close tournament today. We had Lenape with 570 points and Cherokee with 520 points. So Cherokee, congratulations in the tournament this year for coming in second place. Very nicely done. There you go. Well done to the team. Your advisors are Vince Didino and Ryan Carey. Nice job to Cherokee. And Lenape, like I said, 570 points, your first place for 2018. Congratulations, nicely done. And Lenape's advisor is Marianne Stecker. Before we leave, we'd like to thank all this year's participants. There are a lot of rounds and tournaments that go on before you see what you see here today. Lots of teams, a lot of knowledge out there. And as you can see by the students that participated this year, our future looks pretty bright. Until we see you next year, have a great one. Take care.